future of Angelspit? Because I know you guys had Valerie on guitars. Is there going to be a new lineup with Angelspit?
Yeah. Well, we're calling it Angelspit version 2, but it's just Angelspit
2.0?
Yeah, 2.0. Valerie's on guitars, and she is a maniac.
She is.
She's a maniac. And Chris Kling, who plays for Hansel and Gretel and Mortice, he's also joined us.
He's also a maniac.
Yes.
The guy's out of control.
I know.
And he's what Valerie brings to the band. Like, Valerie brings a wildness and chaoticness to it that is just great. Chris brings this razor sharp, pulverizing beat to it, and it's what's really cool about what Chris does is he listens to the tracks and he plays what isn't there. Like he played all of this. He said, "Well, what does the track need?" Like, for example, in it's just awesome. It's like we've had some rehearsals, and it's like Angelspit with just guitars and drums is punk rock,
yes.
And it's punk rock with screaming synthesizers over it, and it's just. It is so wild. It is like, when you rehearse with a band, you're usually standing there and you don't jump around too much.
Yeah.
When we rehearse, it was just insanity. It was just insanity. So I'm so excited. We're doing 4 gigs. New York / kind of New Jersey, Boston, Philadelphia, and Richmond. This is all in mid-April. Then we're going over to London, to England, Ireland, Scotland, and some European festivals as a 4-piece. Awesome. And we've also got the Liar on video, but he's not always joining us live. But I'm really excited about it. Like, I've never heard music like this. It's really cool.
It's kind of like how Angelspit was always meant to be. Like, the first song we ever wrote was Maggot, and that's obviously like a real punk rock song with big guitars and big drums. And we've always done live guitars and live drums, but because it's been us writing, and because we've always wanted to, we decided to sacrifice having a full band for being able to travel the world and bring our music to people. So this is like finally almost, it's like come full circle. This is like how we started and how we imagined we would be. So we're both like super duper hyped.
In 2008, you were asked if Angelspit could tour with anyone, who would it be and why? You replied, Zoog, you replied Sonic Youth, Skinny Puppy, and KMFDM. Now that you have toured with KMFDM and have shared a stage with Skinny Puppy, do you have any other bands you'd like to tour with, or would you like to tour with them forever?
Prodigy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to tour with Prodigy.
I would love to see you guys with Prodigy.
Yeah.
That'd be epic.
I want to tour with Atari Teenage Riot because they obviously reformed. And like they're like our kind of idols, I guess, and so they're very like us. So when they reformed last year, I went to their show and you went to their show as well in London and New York, and it was unreal. So that would be rad. And who else? I mean, Sonic Youth. I don't think that'll ever happen, but I'm trying to think because there are lots of cool. Yeah, there are lots of cool bands that are coming up, but I guess we're looking to tour with people out of our genre.
Oh, I would kill to see you guys with Fear Factory.
I don't know. Yeah, bands outside our genre really excite us. So I think, because what's been really cool about this tour is that Lords of Acid, like KMFDM, also pull mainly goth and metalheads, but Lords of Acid are new crowd for us, and they've responded to it so well. Like they start moshing, and it's really, really cool. So,
but Prodigy.
I'd love to do with Prodigy.
Yeah.
Bring it on, bitches. Yeah. Let's go, Liam. Let's go.
Well, the wonderful thing about your music is, since you are so industrial, but you have such heavy guitars, you can tour and get away with bands like Lords of Acid, because even though you have that really harsh electro sound, the guitars blend so well with Lords of Acid, and that's what made this tour amazing, is everything combined to make this beautiful
mash of
creepy
doom
mess. It's awesome. Yes, they rock. And I have one last question for you guys. This one's actually for you.
Okay.
What was the inspiration for Miss X Cosmetic? And I know that you are closing down the cosmetic line because Zoog just told me, but would you like us to buy, and would that help support your passport fees?
I'm not actually I'm not actually closing it down fully. We're just like, well, I'm just like kind of reformulating it at the moment. I'm working on a few collaborations with different brands, which I can't talk about at the moment.
That's okay.
Makeup related. And I'll be coming out with some new like more couture eyelash ranges in the future. But I think the thing is, the makeup business is extremely it's very competitive, I guess, and there's a lot happening, especially in alternative cosmetics with a few brands. So I figured it would be better to team up than to kind of like just be a lone brand.
Take the competition head on.
Yeah, and just figure out what the point of difference was, and to create something that people needed. So I needed some time to think about it. What do people really need? What do they want? What's available? And because, you know, things have changed so much in the last 2 years, and what's available with cosmetics, and there's so many good brands out there at the moment, I need to figure out what people want and what they need. But the reason why why we initially started the brand was because it wasn't like, I didn't really feel like there was a cosmetics brand dedicated to the alternative scene in terms of loud colours, particularly red eyeshadow. It's my thing that I always looked for. In the end, I wanted to make my own red eyeshadow because I couldn't find one, and so we decided to do one that was inspired by our love of Japanese culture, bright colours and stuff, and we did that successfully. I guess we didn't realize how much not work it took, but just like the demand was so intense that we were like, oh, we've got this band, we've also got this renegade makeup company, what are we going to do? So yeah.
Well, it's kind of funny because like we took on the idea that the cosmetics was similar to, if you can wear the band's colours on a shirt, you can wear the band's colours on your face with cosmetics. So like Amelia researched pigments and how to make this stuff, and we were making it all by hand. And normally when you make this stuff, you cut it, or you dull it down, but we were using the pure pigments because we just decided that we wanted to make the brightest, loudest, craziest colors, and we were mixing all the colors. We had a little blender grinder thing that we'd mix the colors up in, and we were doing,
it was like punk rock cosmetics. But obviously everything was made hygienically, but yeah, it was just like we just took the same approach to cosmetics as we did in music, and it's like what isn't there at the moment, and how can we make it? So that's how we did it. But it's been really cool because all these like opportunities have come from it. So if you go to my blog, DestroyX.com, should be new announcements in the coming months about lots of cool, exciting makeup related releases, and yeah, I don't know, that's all I was going to say about that.
A funny story is that we made the makeup in the same, basically in our studio, and we spent a day a week was making makeup. We've got this beautiful old synthesizer called the Jupiter 8 collector's item. It's a beautiful, beautiful synthesizer.
Awesome.
And if you have one of these very, very rare, very, very expensive synthesizers, you treat it beautifully, which we did. And I remember we were making makeup on the Sunday, and on the Monday I was working on music, and I ran my finger along the top of it, and it was covered in glitter and red from all of the pigment dust that had got out. I was like, fuck, this shit's everywhere now.
There is nothing wrong with glitter.
Yeah. Well, in a Jupiter 8, it's kind of, people are going to kill me.
It's not a very good idea.
Well, did you say the synthesizer?
Yeah, the synth's good.
Okay. As long as it's okay, that's good. And we got good makeup out of it, so that's all that matters.
That's true.
Well, that's all the questions I have for you guys. Is there anything you'd like to add?
Thank you to everyone in Phoenix who came to our show and witnessed our last duo performance. It's a weird thing because I don't know how many hundreds of shows we've done, just us. And so it's like an end to an era really tonight. But we're very excited about the future, and it's just going to be like 10 million gigabillion times more massive.
Yeah. Gigabillion times massive. Keep rocking, and if you make art, keep making your art, because the future is going to be absolutely fucking awesome. We're Angelspit Rock.